beautiful land, Kalendrya. For generations, the people of Kalendrya had told ancient stories of legendary heroes. But the age of heroes has long passed, and now villains have risen to reign of the land. Whispers say that we're doomed, that the era of heroes has ended, but I still hold out hope that there are heroes out there, and we need them now more than ever before. Of Kalendrya.
All right. When our party last left off, they had safely made it into the city of Kirlia, managing somewhat well, I suppose, given the situation, to manage to arrive unharmed and with mostly them and their things intact. They did manage to make their way to the Brewers Guild due to the smart thinking and guild membership of Max. Once there, they managed to secure a room for themselves, for Sybil and her children, and for Dr. Hinge. Upon getting everyone kind of settled in, they did make a point to go about getting a little bit of information that they seem to have been missing from around town. Having split up, some to go to the Temple District and some to do a little bit of performance and mingling with some of the locals, they have finally reunited and are on their way to attempt to kind of reacquire through some exchange of goods for cash, basically, some of their items that were left behind in their hasty escape into the city of Kirlia. Who would like to kick us off? How are you guys getting there?
With our feet.
I assume I would lead the way, kind of,
and it's
being the one that knows the area, more or less.
And we get there, and it sounds like this.
Yeah, he farts the whole way there. It's awful.
And then I run, and it goes
terrible, horrifying. All right, Max, as you begin kind of leading your companions through, you know that not too far away from essentially where you're at with all the different tradesmen and all the guilds there, essentially the market district is just right adjacent to it, making it as easy as possible for those who bring their wares to kind of get them to where they need to be sold. As you end up coming upon the market district, though, it is slammed. Like, there are people everywhere. There you see several of the stalls of different goods that just kind of line the street without an actual like shop front here are just almost empty, as you know, they seem to be kind of going through what supplies there are very quickly given the number of people who seem to have made it into the city. As you go about, you do see, not too far in the distance, able to kind of navigate your way fairly well through these crowds. The giant sign, much larger than you originally remember it being, for general goods. the store in which you all were headed to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that General Goods is his real name?
It is.
Do you think that, like, he grew up and, like, he was born and his parents really wanted him to own a general goods store? Or do you think, like, he was like, well, this is my name, I might as well make the best of it and turn it into a branding?
Well, or did he gain rank in some significant military capacity, which
That's true.
awarded
Is he
him
a
the
real
title of
general?
general?
He was. He fought in the war.
Which one?
Which war would that be?
I don't know. He just says the war. I just have to take his word for it.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
I mean,
The
he is
war.
a general.
I know this. Yeah, I know what he's talking about. It's the war. It's the war. Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about.
Insight check.
Bullshit. I am not telling you the truth.
I have
What
told a
humor
lie
is
to a
like?
friend.
Yeah, don't lie to a friend. Is that what humor is?
I have misled you. Haha.
Funny joke.
All right, so you all begin to make your way up and to the doors. You do see again, it is almost Black Friday-esque levels of crowds kind of in this area. And as you do approach, it's a little bit difficult to hear over some of the din of just the number of voices of different people kind of hollering to one another, things that they're looking for, needing, communicating, just milling about and talking to themselves, asking questions. And as you kind of step in and you take a look at this entire building, for, you know, the small storefront that it kind of is outside in comparison to this massive sign, it's incredibly large on the inside. It seems that there's some sort of enchantment on this building that makes it have a much larger floor space. And as you're kind of looking around, kind of trying to just get your bearings, oh no. As you're just trying to kind of get your bearings a little bit here within the store, starting to try to see if you can find any sort of semblance of reason between all of the different shelves that are just all throughout the store's floor. You do hear very loudly, those of you who with arcane knowledge know that it must be aided in some way by that, a voice kind of call out from somewhere in the midst of the crowd that just, welcome to General Goods, General Goods! I'm General Good, I'm here to help you. If you can all form an orderly line at the front, please, we can make sure that we get everybody in and out. Very good rank and file. The voice just kind of continues on a little bit. You hear the same announcement made 2 or 3 times, and you don't see really any change amongst anyone in the store, but you have officially made it to General Goods, General Goods.
What's the vibe here? Is this like a small department store or like a BJ's warehouse of shit? What level of organization and aesthetic are we at?
I would say...
I hope Sam's Club.
I would say, as far as,
That's
like,
for you.
scale, we're talking, like, a Sam's Club, a Costco, a BJ's, something like that. The vibe, think of it as, like, a mass general store kind of vibe aesthetic, where some stuff is, like, really organized, and then suddenly you've got other stuff that's, like, just in bunches of barrels, or different things like that.
Barrels.
Yeah.
So is
Military
this
surplus store.
is this a general goods store or is this a general goods store? Like,
This is
a
general
tack and
goods
stuff
store.
kind of store, or is this a you can find it all kind of store?
Well, with being
Walmart.
as
My name's
non-familiar as you are, it did say General Goods, General Goods, so it really could go either way. Like,
Now I have a choice to make. Anyway, I have a monetary choice to make. Anyway,
I will take everyone to the camping gear section.
all right. It does take a little bit of time. You're kind of weaving through and kind of squeezing through crowds in different areas. It's much easier for those of you who are smaller. So Max and Jameson, you do have a slightly easier time navigating this. Alder and Ozzy, there are a few portions that you kind of go through where you have to actually duck a little bit because there's like almost nets holding up additional supplies and things above some of these shelves that kind of sags down a little bit lower than you would appreciate it to be with the weight. But you do eventually kind of squeeze your way through and make your way through to what is labeled in this area on like a set of different shelves and things, different hooks and sort all throughout this area. General goods, camping.
Is there like a little cartoon of him like next to a tent?
There is a picture of him next to it, but it is like a fairly well done drawing of him standing there very stoically, like dead on at whoever made the art, and then a tent just happens to be behind him. Yes, Max.
Would there happen to also be a standee of Smoggy the Bear telling us that only you can prevent forest floods?
As you kind of look around, you do see what seems to be a rendition of Smoggy the Bear, but it is in fact Smoggy the Bear. Apologies, but it is in fact General Goods standing there with a cap on that is made to look like the head of Smoggy Bear.
Jesus, those need to understand her own lore.
Try not to. Okay. Yeah, I will motion to the section and be like, well, if there's anything that you left, this place should have it. I'm going to go find a bedroll.
I'm just gonna go find a bedroll and like so the equivalent of like a bag that's big enough to be like the hammock that I had to leave.
Okay.
Because essentially all I left was the little net hammock that I would have had at like on the ship. I just took that with me, so it's just probably like a little like cargo net that I used as a hammock.
Okay. So you're looking for a net. You're looking for a bedroll. Ozzy and Alder, are you guys looking for anything while you're here?
I'll let you go first, Austin, because I've got a laundry list.
Laundry list, yeah. That's what I figured. So, the camping supplies I lost don't actually need. So, instead, Ozzy's gonna take one look and go, "Oh yeah, I don't sleep." And then he's gonna go wander around to find. This man likes his hammers. He wants to go find more hammers. He wants to see what General Goods has to offer.
Well, I mean, you have to see all the goods of Goods General Goods store. So
General Hammers.
General Goods.
General Goods' cousin, General Hammers.
All right. And Alder, should I double back around to you, or do you want to share what you're looking for?
Do you want me to You should double back around.
I'll double back around.
Maybe go ahead, Bradley, because I might be thinking along the same lines.
Okay, I'll start at the top.
Especially if it includes magic items and spell scrolls.
Does not include any of that shit.
Okay,
I will shut up. Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
It's General Goods, not magic items goods.
You never know.
That's his uncle.
We found
they don't talk about magic items goods here. All right. So Max, with you up first, you're fairly easily able to find where the bedrolls should be located. What you do see remaining seems to be very, very heavily picked over. It does seem to be probably a very in-demand item at the moment. And as you're kind of looking through, you do manage to find one adult gnome-sized bedroll.
How tall is that?
Like 3 feet, maybe.
Grung-sized.
I walk by. Oh, thanks, man.
That's fair.
Have you seen any net bags around here?
I have not.
What in the fuck is a net bag?
It is a bag made of nets. I don't know what part about that is hard to understand.
So it's a net.
No. It's a specialty item.
I'm gonna pull a net off the wall and I'm gonna tie
found
it into
one!
the shape of a bag.
See, I knew. Thank you. You knew exactly what I was looking for. I'm glad I explained it to you.
Where my talents are used best, I see.
Well, are there none left that are adult human sized?
There are a few like child human that are also about 3 feet. As you're kind of looking around, roll me an investigation check as you're looking through what is a pretty disorganized at the moment store.
Just zip
Max.
2 of the child size ones.
Yes,
together.
exactly. Put one on the top of your body and then one on the bottom of your. Like you're some kind of caterpillar or a worm.
Investigation.
Okay. Mhm.
That'll be an 18.
Okay, as you're kind of looking around, you do manage to find what seems to kind of have been stowed away and almost like under to be hidden and come back to like to take it later. You know, those people that do that in the store that just drive you a little nutty.
Yeah, who would
One
do that?
Yeah,
Goliath adult bedroll.
I'll
This is like
take
when you
it.
go to Old Navy and you're trying to find like a large and they've got like triple XL and then like extra small and you're like, come on.
They
Like,
don't-
where's the middle ground? Like,
Or that one time when I went for a wedding and I found the only white shirt in any store in town and it was a 2X.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was great. I had a great time.
Well, I'll take the adult Goliath sized bed.
okay.
And a Goliath walks by. Hey, I was saving that one.
Finders keepers.
All right. Is there anything
Picks
else that
you
you would
up.
like to grab while you're in this area, Max?
Do I know if General Goods has magic items or spell scrolls?
He does have some general or generic things. You know that in the past he's been willing to get a requisition order, essentially, where you can request that he get something and he'll hold it for like 2 weeks once it comes in for you. But it's kind of hit or miss. It's almost a little bit like a thrift store in that way.
Okay. I'll go see what he has.
Okay. As you start making your way over there, you do pass by Ozzy, who you see is staring at just almost a hammer section, which is not denoted by some cutesy picture of General Goods, but instead it seems that he has literally taken a hammer that he has just nailed to the sign that says General Goods Hammers. You know, really just doing the most that he can. And as you're kind of looking there, you have everything from tiny little like ball peen hammers all the way through to like a few larger Warhammer-esque hammers and items. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Maybe. Ozzy is just... He's looking for something similar to in size to the one that he uses, but he is looking for something that might be more effective than the one that he uses, possibly. And he has an eye for things like runes and such, so who knows? Maybe he'll find something.
Okay.
Maybe, please.
Roll me an investigation
the
check
Rune
as you're
Knight
perusing
fighter
all of these
subtypes?
different hammers and hammer subtypes.
You said investigation check?
Mm-hmm.
Or, okay. Cool. That's
Unless you would like to make an or unless you want to advocate for a different roll, we'll call it an investigation.
I have a thought in mind, but I don't know. Okay, I'll just do my best here. Given Ozzy's particular area of expertise being the rune augmentation, primarily on his own body and things like that, but he has that eye for runes. He's gonna focus a little more on seeing if there is anything that happens to look like it has a magical property or some kind of visible etchings on it that are not just decorative and actually seem to be some kind of magical rune. And I'm gonna aim for Arcana because I'm actually proficient in that.
Okay, I'll allow it since you're looking specifically for some magical runes.
All right. 14
Okay.
Could be worse.
As you kind of get through, you do see a couple different things. Some much smaller than what you're kind of looking for. That seem about yay big. Pretty small for your size. That seem to have some different types of runes or rune carvings in them. And you do see a few larger hammers as well that seem to have similar runes or rune carvings in them. But you're not able to quite discern if they are just looking like magical runes or if they are actually magical runes.
He's gonna peruse a bit. He thinks over in his brain and he goes, I don't always do much time on things that might not be what I'm looking for. And so he is going to move along over to the and find some replacement tools that he left.
All right.
Oops.
As you start heading to the tools section, not too terribly far from the hammer section, so it at least kind of makes sense in that regard.
Thank God.
You do see, again, he has just got a giant sign up, and you see what are just artistic renditions of him holding up just different, almost like it's almost like it's that redneck dude on Facebook that we all went to high school with holding a fish that he just caught, and that's like his profile picture for the next 7 or 8 years. So just like that, very stone-faced, holding a tool set is the picture for it.
Excellent.
As you kind of come up upon it, you do see a host of different tool sets, but you do see that there are very slim pickings on some. So, what
there
tools
are
are you
3 in
looking
particular I'm looking for because they're the 3 that I have proficiency in.
for? Okay.
Smiths, tinkers, alchemists.
Okay, you do pretty easily find smiths and tinkers tools. The alchemist tools are pretty heavily picked over. As you start kind of looking over some of them, it looks like probably a few people who hopefully were people that were down on their luck have seeming to have taken an item or 2 out of each of these different kits. You can probably work with 2 of them to make a full kit, but you'll have to not get caught combining them if you don't want to pay for both.
It's like when you want to buy some chives, but chives are expensive, so you just grab some parsley and shove it down on top of the chives and then take it to the self-checkout.
He says as though he's never done that before, I'm hoping.
Hey, for all you viewers out there, fuck the man, steal from Walmart.
I mean, yeah. If you see somebody steal from
Correct.
Walmart, no you didn't. Like, easy.
Correct.
Yeah, you did. It was me. I'm gonna keep doing it. I saw myself doing it.
I did accidentally steal from a Lowe's one time. I genuinely didn't realize there was something in my cart I hadn't paid for at the self-checkout. I didn't realize until I was unloading everything, and somebody had even stopped me at the door and looked at my receipt and in my cart and didn't catch it.
Shows you that shit don't work.
Like,
Look, people who own Lowe's send people who own Walmart. Steal from Lowe's.
Boys, we got her. Lock her up. She admitted to it on screen.
I didn't do shit. Oh, okay. Well, how would you like to proceed, Ozzy?
My brain short-circuited there for a second, and I promptly forgot what set of tools we were talking about.
Oh, so this is for the alchemist tools.
Alchemist supplies. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Ooh. Not get caught. Are we talking like moving quickly, not getting caught, or like hiding, not getting
It
caught?
depends on how you want to go about it, I guess.
Disadvantage on self checks. Disadvantage on self checks. Disadvantage on self checks.
Describe to me, if you're wanting to try to combine them, describe to me how you want to do it, and I'll tell you what check you'll make.
Okay. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna make sure that they are both next to each other on the shelf. And he's just gonna he is going to stand there and he is going to look at one, like kind of basically be like looking at one of the kits, and just kind of looking it over and like kind of like perusing parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as he goes to return pieces of it to its kit, he's going to return it to the one next to it instead. Just kind of like Like looking at it. Kind of like, but having them close enough together that he's going to try to make it look like he's
I'll
putting in the
say
same
it's
one.
a sleight of hand check then.
Thank fuck.
No, it's a stealth check.
But it'll do. Damn, I wish I was proficient because that's an 18.
Okay. You see that the few people who are kind of in that area seem very preoccupied with kind of getting what they're looking for. You see a few people who are kind of getting a little bit frustrated and flustered. You see that they're looking where there's a little label, kind of very scrawled out, we'll say, for the penmanship that says Herbalism Kit. And there's nothing there. You see that they're kind of talking about, okay, well, what can we get that might be similar, and then kind of discussing it, and they are so ingrained in that they completely miss you doing this little bit of sleight of hand to create yourself one full alchemist kit.
Excellent. I'm gonna buy those 3 kits.
All right. So you can go and
Way more
put
expensive.
yourself in line.
Shit. Sure.
Godspeed. Ooh.
Can I speed up this process a little bit of the whole line thing?
You can't kill people in line.
I'm not gonna kill people. I'm
You
not gonna
can't
kill people.
squish people. Well, you
I'm not
can,
gonna
but
squish
like,
anybody.
You shouldn't.
I'm not gonna do any of that.
okay, what are you, Ozzy, doing to try to speed this process up for yourself?
So as he goes up to get into the line, he's gonna kind of like walk just a little too close to the person in front of him, kind of bump them, and when they kind of like turn around, like, oh yeah, he's just gonna kind of stare at them, and his eyes are just gonna flare up a little bit, like that red in his face, like the red lights in his face are just gonna flare up a little bit, and he's just gonna have that like disdainful look that is his resting face.
I'll say you can make me an intimidation check, and given that you are not using words, you're using physicality, you may make that with strength if you would like.
I'll take that. 16.
Okay.
Rolled aggressively, okay.
With a 15, the individual in front of you kind of, you see them kind of look down and pull kind of in towards their side. This small child who's kind of like looking up with you, just kind of like shaking a little bit, and they just kind of, no, you can go ahead of us, and kind of pulls, this little Goliath girl back, along with her father, kind of steps aside as much as possible to allow you to just get in front of them.
Yep. I'm just gonna do that sparingly to slowly but surely work my way to the front faster.
Okay, noted. Yes, Max.
Just real quick, on my way to over there, can I stop by the tools section and get some cook's utensils?
Absolutely. You do see, again, that this is starting to get a little bit sparse, but it's not quite at the level of the alchemist kit yet. Sorting through, you are able to find an already intact kit.
Okay. And then I'll continue on.
Okay. Jameson, is there anything else that you would like to get other than your now net bag and your perfect
Everybody
for you?
Everybody did all the shopping for me, so I'm good.
Okay. Are you putting yourself in line?
Yeah. Cause I'm the only thing I think I left was like my bed stuff, so I'm good. I'm Gucci.
Okay. Are you joining up with Ozzy, or are you getting in line at a different point in time?
I'll wait in line. Like, I'll just wait in line. I won't cut the line or anything.
Okay. A few minutes pass. The line is barely inching forward. And suddenly you hear somebody just under their breath like, oh my God, can you believe this guy? Did he get in front of you too? Yeah. And they're like kind of whispering and talking back and forth. As you kind of turn to see who they're looking at, you do see Ozzy kind of standing and looming over like yet another little like poor innocent bystander shopper who just kind of like is trying to have a little bit of a stare off with Ozzy, it looks like, before they finally relent, and you see them kind of grumble about it and let him step ahead.
I look at them and I go, we don't have to take that from that guy. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. And I walk up and I climb up on Ozzy and I start like wagging my finger at him and I go, I just didn't want to wait in line. Don't say anything.
and Ozzy's gonna do just the like most straight-faced wink that he's ever done in his life. And that's it.
And I turn and look at them and I go, I'm not leaving until he lets you all in front of him. And I look back at Ozzy.
You see a couple of people who are like, yeah, you know, and then kind of go back to like whatever conversations or things. And then you see a couple of people who just like very dead, like
they get it.
They
know
get
what's
it.
happening.
They're just so over it. They don't want to be in the story anymore. They don't want to have conversation. They're gonna let you do whatever. So you do successfully skip about 10 or 15 people in the line ahead of you.
So I will just stay on like Ozzy's shoulder, and then I'll just start playing some music. I'll just start playing something like High Spirit and look at the people that look dead to the world, and I'm like, music.
And just like a little bit of elevator music. It does enough to kind of placate the crowd. Any frustrations, you know, aren't gone, but they're definitely lessened a little bit now that they don't just have to listen to the din of crowds and constantly loud repeating General Goods, little announcements that seem to be going on. Max.
Yes.
As you make your way over to essentially what you know is, quote, the magic aisle. What is it in particular that you are trying to look for or find, hoping that it's here?
Spell scrolls, first and foremost. Apart from that, maybe potions of healing. Those are the main two things. And then otherwise, just perusing, see what he's got in stock.
Okay. As you're kind of looking around, roll me... Let's call it either an Arcana or an Investigation check, whichever you would prefer.
Same thing. Okay. I'll say Arcana for a 24.
Okay, so with that 24 to Arcana, let's see what we've got today, boys. Okay, so you do manage to find a couple of, like, cantrip and level 1 spell scrolls for a few different things. You do manage to find a few, like, smaller potions of healing, and a few other assorted, very much so common magic items. But you do see that some of the big sellers, such as, I don't know, things like bags of holding or anything like that, are not there at all. You do see that this section has also seemingly been pretty heavily picked over.
I'll grab 4 potions of healing.
Okay.
Actually, do I know how much he charges for potions of healing? Is it just whatever the PHP says?
So as you look...
50 gold?
You do see that it is listed as 52 gold on each bottle.
He's got to get his
Bastard.
cut.
Bastard.
Is there like a buy one, get one?
As you look around, there does not seem to be a General Goods buy one, get one program on this aisle.
Buy one, get half off.
The boy is here.
The boy.
That's not a boy. That's a cinnamon roll.
Oh, I really want to
See, look.
Does anyone not have a potion of healing? Because I currently do have one on me.
I have one.
I also have one.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll go ahead and get one.
Did I write that down?
Okay.
And then I'll start looking at the level 1 spells, first level spells.
Okay.
Specifically for any for evocation.
Okay. Gonna have to adjust how I search because I didn't write down their types, and I should have known better.
I'll look at all of them, whatever he's got.
Okay, let's see. Roll me a D6.
3.
Okay, So you find 3 different spell scrolls that are first level. You see that are also evocation.
I'm sorry, 6.
Sorry, I can't hear you. So anyways, 3 of them. You find 1 thunderclap.
Oh.
You find 1 word of radiance.
Hang on, let me write these down.
Okay.
D.
Said thunderclap,
Mm-hmm.
Word of Radiance, and
green flame blade.
I can't believe there's a cantrip named after Radiant.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay. The green flame blade, that's in Tash's, correct?
I believe so, yes.
You can reprinted there, yes.
Yeah, I've got it marked TCE or C, or yeah, so Tasha's Cauldron or Sword Coast Adventure Guide.
Oh, I have that one all the way over there. I got Tasha's right here.
Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
So was the ghost was why
Okay. And Thunderclap, is that in Xanathar's?
Yeah, I just gave you all the cantrip ones instead of all the first level ones. I'm just realizing with how I've sorted everything. So
Yeah.
that's
okay.
prayers. For your first level ones, roll me Austin a D4. While he's looking at the others.
Oh god, hang on, I gotta find a D4 because I don't keep them out. 3!
3. Okay, so you find 3 evocation first level spells. Now that I'm actually looking at my right section here, believe it or not. Oh my gosh. You find, let's see here. You find 1 divine favor.
Okay.
1 frost fingers. And 1 healing word.
I think we can already guess which one I'm going to take out of those.
I mean, that's up to you, bestie. I mean, you know.
What's his going rate for scrolls?
You see that for any cantrip scrolls, they go for 12 gold pieces each. For any first level spell scrolls, they go for 65 each.
Okay. Sure. I'm going to do some thinking. You can go to someone else for the moment.
Alder. I am doubling back around to you. Hit me. What's on your list?
I have snacks.
Alder. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were muted.
I was calculating gold cost of stuff that can be appropriately priced according to the player's handbook.
Okay.
So, are there shopping carts?
There are no shopping carts. You
Are
do
there
see
baskets?
some different, like, little, like, bags or, like, almost like woven baskets. Some have seen better days. Some are missing a handle or maybe both. But there are a few different, you know, items provided by the store to carry larger amounts of things.
So I grab one of the big yellow IKEA bags, and I start kind of very haphazardly, scatterbrained, walking to different parts of the store, grabbing different things as I think of them as I'm walking about, paying almost no mind or any attention to any of the people around me. I'm just kind of focused in on what I'm looking for, so I'm like bumping into it, like, oh, sorry, excuse me, trying to get through and around people. I would like 3 bags of ball bearings, 1 block and tackle, 5 glass bottles, 4 packs of caltrops, 1 10-foot chain, 10 pieces of chalk, 1 chest, 1 crowbar, 1 grappling hook, a sledgehammer, 4 hunting traps, a hooded lantern, a set of manacles, 5 flasks of oil, a portable ram, a whistle, and 2 whetstone.
I've never heard anything more on brand in my entire life.
Okay.
Total, that comes out to 58 gold pieces, 4 silver, and 6 copper.
Okay. Given the markups at the moment at General Goods, add an extra 2 gold, 17 silver, and 8 copper to that.
You made me lose my count when you said all those extra numbers. I said 58, didn't I? I said 58.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you said adding how much to that?
2
gold?
2 gold.
We're just going to call it 62 gold pieces.
Okay, cool. Fair enough.
And
Oh,
that's the stuff that's priced.
okay.
That exists in the book.
Okay.
I would like to find some metal piece of metal conduit, some metal pipe. Is
Okay.
like roughly 3/4 of an inch in diameter, of varying lengths. I would like to find like a metallic gauntlet, almost, just like a piece of like an armor piece, but is like missing the rest of its fitted piece of armor, so that it's just like kind of loose or lying around. I would like and I actually do think that is in the book somewhere, a side of leather.
Yeah, I think side of leather might be listed as an actual item in PHB equipment.
Like
Not
trade
according
good?
to this, but I'm sure it exists somewhere. The side of leather, and also whatever we want to quantify as essentially like spare parts or tinkering supplies or whatever, like extra, like I want like springs and screws and nuts and bolts and other things that I can use to make stuff.
I'll say for that specifically, as you kind of get up to where, you know, sort of more of these tools and different, you know, bits and baubles are kind of all around, you do come upon one large barrel, and you see kind of like haphazardly stuck to the side of this barrel, and very loosely hanging on a hook, different small little like satchel bags, and the sign says, scoop and buy, 1 bag is a gold piece and 50 silver, or like, you know, like
How big is
basically
this barrel?
$1.50. The barrel's pretty large. Like, we're talking like the candy barrels at Mast, not like Alder can just pick it up and take it with him forever and ever.
I'm sorry, I have powerful build.
Well, don't let me stop
first
you.
of all,
Well,
check
first-
yourself. Oh, I forgot an item. I also wanted a map or a scroll case. Hang on, where was that at? One gold piece. Okay, so 63 gold pieces. Does 150 gold equate to 1 unit of stuff I can use to make shit? What's the exchange rate?
We'll say 150.
gold pieces
We'll say
to crap I
150.
can make?
According to General Goods, will give you probably 5 good tinkers.
That's amazing.
I will say we're calling those like small to medium tinkers. So if you're suddenly like, I'm gonna build a boat, then it will not.
No.
You know.
I'd have to buy the whole bucket to build an apparatus of Qualish. Anyway, sorry.
What a deep cut.
What about the other things? The conduit, the gauntlet, and other shit.
Roll me a d20. We'll call it investigation, unless you want to advocate for something else.
Oh, I like the investigation.
Okay.
That is a 24.
You're able to find a few different pipes. They definitely seem to be probably designed more for kind of like plumbing purposes.
That's perfect.
Okay. So you find a couple. You do see that they are valued at, you know, like 7 silver a pop. So however many pipes you want to buy.
10 foot.
You want 1 10-foot pole?
No. Total length of 10 foot.
Okay. So 70 silver, essentially worth.
7 gold.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
3.5.
gauntlet.
I want to like, you see those videos where people lift up the shelves at a Target and find the Pokemon cards that have been stuck there since the late 90s?
Mhm.
That's what I'm looking for.
So oddly specific.
With the 24, you're kind of looking around, and you do eventually kind of come across something like that. It looks like it was probably more made and fitted to a human hand. And at some point, one of the straps that kind of helps hold it in place definitely seems to have been ripped or busted, probably with somebody who shouldn't have been trying to put it on and pulling too much on it. So it is in a bit of disrepair. You do see it is quite dusty. The very faded little bit of price tag attached says it is 4 gold.
You can swing that. Cool. And then I buy a bunch of spare parts. That's what we're calling the unit now.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and calculate all of that, as I assume, Alder, you're hopping in line.
Yeah. Assuming that there is still a line when I'm finally done.
There is still quite a line. It's early enough in the day. It is. Just gonna pick up from here, baby. All right, Max. Is there
I'll take the
anything-
lot.
You'll take the lot? All right. Have you done your math on it?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe total, all 6 scrolls, and a potion of healing, and a daggum bedroll, and cook's utensils, that came out to 285.
Okay. So you also hop in line. As you get in line, you do see kind of coming along with a giant, like, shopping bag filled with stuff, a little bit almost overflowing and kind of having to get constantly kind of readjusted to stay in the bag. And then with additional stuff still in his other hand, Alder, walking up, probably just a few feet behind you.
I'm like going back through it, my mental checklist as I'm looking through my bag in line.
Did you find everything okay?
Oh yes, I do believe I did find everything I was looking for, and a few extras. I think it's quite an interesting place here.
Yep. Usually they have everything I'm looking for, and it's always nice to have a bit of a surprise as I show him the scrolls.
Oh,
He had healing word in stock. Would you believe it?
I don't even know if I know what that is.
Oh, it's a delightful spell, which I believe will come in handy.
If you say so.
All right.
I have the utmost confidence in your arcane prowess and gift with the weave.
Thank you. I have confidence in your stuff.
Well, thank you.
I will let Alder step ahead first in line.
All right. As you all do eventually make your way through the line, it does take almost a good 30 to 45 minutes.
Gross.
Yes, Max.
Can I try to riz up my cashier with a persuasion check to maybe get a discount? Because the general and I are good friends. He comes in to the tavern occasionally.
I'll let you make me a persuasion check. It's gonna be pretty difficult.
That's okay. I'm
Can I
Okay.
give him advantage by helping him by being in front of him in line and buying a bunch of shit? Kind of buttering up the employee by being a overzealous customer?
Roll me just a straight d20.
It's a net 20.
So by the time that Alder finally collects all of his things off of the counter, Max, you see the younger lady, younger like elven woman who's kind of standing there, almost start just rubbing her temples as she sees you kind of approaching. Hi, welcome to General Goods. General Goods. Did you find everything that you were looking for today?
I did. And in quick order, too. I must say, the shop is as put together as always. Give the general my regards.
I'm sorry, I don't recognize your face and your name. I'm sure the general would love to hear your regards. I just want to make sure I tell him the proper name to pass along with that.
It is Max from over at Lola's.
Max from over at Lola's. I will be happy to tell the general that you came by, Max. Is this everything for you today?
I believe it will be, yes.
All right. You watch as she picks up almost like a metal piece that almost seems to emit this little bit of like light kind of from it. Runs it over everything, puts it down. Well, looks like your total is 265.
Yeah, okay. That's more of a discount than I thought, but sure.
All right. As you start gathering your things, you do realize that where she put this thing down did stop before one of your spell scrolls, it seems, as you kind of collect all of your goods.
Do you steal from the general?
No.
Yes.
Curse my good alignment. I'm like, excuse me, miss, you missed the scroll.
Oh! My apologies, Max from Lola's. And she kind of picks the little thing up, runs it over the scroll, puts it down. That is 15 gold.
I gotta make a check. How nice am I? Damn, too nice. Okay, I pay out.
Alright. Alright, officially having paid for all of your goods, you put them all away. As you leave, she says, have a wonderful rest of your day, and make sure you come back to visit General Goode's General Goods. Hi, and welcome to General Goode's General Goods. You find everything that you needed today, as she starts to help the next person behind you.
Having the worst day of her life. I feel that on a deep and spiritual level.
Oh, retail hits different.
Especially on Black Friday.
Yeah.
It hits hard.
All right. So with all of you having marked off the appropriate amounts of monetary values on
What's
each of
the
your
appropriate
sheets
amount
for
of
what you have
monetary
decided to
value?
purchase, what are you all headed to do next? At this point, it's getting to be about like noon, lunchtime-y, right around there.
We can have food over at the Brewers Guild, or we can check out a local place.
Did we get an estimated time of arrival for our cleric to meet with our injured physician friend?
Max would remember, I don't. I think it was like at least an hour.
You said as
Maybe-
fast as possible. They said, we'll send someone as soon as we have someone. You said, so like an hour? They said, sure.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, like sometime today.
Sure.
And we would like to be there when this person of clergy arrives.
That would be optimal.
Then, as much as I would like to enjoy the nightlife of Kyria here, I think it would be more prudent if we made our way back to the Brewers Guild.
Okay.
This is
Good idea.
nightlife. Bedtime is at 4 o'clock.
How old are you?
I'm either 8 or 800.
I don't really know verbal gauges. I'll let you tell me.
Yeah, because we wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
To do what?
Get to work.
Yes.
Talk to the plants?
You
Probably.
can. It's not really something I do.
Anyway, yeah, I guess we'll head back to the Brewers Guild.
All right. It does take, again, probably like a good 30, 45 minutes to make your way through an increasing crowd. At this point, you do see that it seems to be very heavily populated with different folks that seem to most likely be refugees based on their state of dress at the moment. The amounts of dirt, some with a little bit of like almost dried blood that you can see has been kind of like mostly washed away, but they've missed a few spots. It's a little like streaked. It's definitely much busier than I think anyone probably was anticipating for the day. As you do eventually return to the Brewers Guild, you do see that it is got a little bit more life to it. You see the guild master kind of standing there waves to you, but he is very deeply engrossed in kind of teaching and training a few different folks, it seems, who may either be guild recruits or some potential people who really needed the extra help a little bit. The other two little like bar service areas that he's not using are, it seems to be kind of in full swing. There are a few different folks kind of coming in and out. You do see that there's some new different brews kind of being brought in and set up, and there does seem to be some food coming out of the kitchen.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on Dr. Hinge first.
All right.
I'll go with him.
I kind of want to eavesdrop on brewing class.
Okay.
I am sticking with Max in case Dr. Hinge turns into a zombie, then I get to hit him. So
Then I get to hit our friend.
That's what I pay you for.
exactly.
I don't pay you for nothing.
You pay me
Alright.
for my capability to inflict extreme violence.
You guys are getting paid?
Yeah.
All right. As you make your way up to Dr. Hinge's room, you get to the door and you do realize that it is locked, and you hear a very just a little bit of stilted, kind of wobbly snoring from within.
Okay. I unlock the door. I think I have the key.
Did you keep the key or did you give it to Hinge?
Ozzy.
Oh, yes, of course.
All right, athletics, check this door for me. See if you can just knock it off its hinges, I guess.
Oh, I'm not going for the hinges. Well, actually, wait a minute. Are the hinges on the inside or the outside?
I hate this goddamn question.
Thank you,
He
Bradley.
beat me to it.
Because I did just buy Tinker Tools.
They're on the outside.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna use the Tinker Tools to take the hinges out.
Just wake him up.
No,
No.
this is more fun. Ozzy's enjoying this way more.
Roll me a tinker check.
Cool. What skill would that be?
We'll call it your dexterity. If you're proficient in it, you'll get to add your proficiency bonus to it.
Yeah.
Are we
am
picking the
proficient.
door?
Oh, no, I'm pulling the hinges off of it.
Oh, okay. I could pick the lock.
Just- Y'all listen to I could pick the lock.
Eavesdropping. Shut up.
Yeah, you're right. I'm eavesdropping. That's what I said.
Those are good ears.
And Ozzy just kind of like, as Jameson says, I could just pick the lock. He just, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. And he, like, you can kind of tell that he's actually a little disappointed, and he just kind of starts putting his stuff away. Pick the lock.
If you want,
Pick the lock.
do.
No. It makes more
no,
sense
wait.
this way. It makes more sense this way. It's fine. It's fine.
I
it's
mean,
fine.
just because it makes more sense doesn't mean it's more fun.
You're right. And he's gonna take apart the door. Yeah, I am proficient in Tinker's Tool. Plus dexterity. Oh my god. Why? Why, God? It's a 9.
All right, so you pretty quickly and easily get the first top hinge out. As you go to the second, it hardly
Hinge is in the room.
moves. It is taking so long to get the tiniest bit of progress. It's like it hasn't been like oiled or greased or anything in so long.
Trying
You
not
are
to
having
break
the
the door.
hardest time trying to get this hinge out.
I'm trying not to break the door, but this hinge is rusted. Stuck! Pissing me off, but I don't want to break the door. Fine, and I will put the other hinge back in. You can pick the lock. Not fucking, I don't want to break the damn door.
I'll pick the lock.
All right, roll me that check.
Froggy law.
15.
All right, with the 15, fairly easily, you manage to kind of finally get it. You do see that there's one little hinge, almost, or one of the little, like, pieces inside of the lock is a little bit almost rusted as well, but it does eventually relent, and you get the door unlocked.
Nice. I swing it open carefully.
All right, and as you swing it open, you get the loudest as it swings on the metal rusty hinge to open. You do see Hinge kind of before he goes back to his odd stylized snoring.
Cool. Well, I'll go over to him and just
let me-
give him a.
May I?
I guess.
Does he look unwell?
Roll me a medicine check.
Well, considering I was
don't
gonna look anyway, I was gonna examine and just see how he's doing. Can I also make a medicine check?
I'll say yes. You may make your own medicine check.
Don't wake him up yet.
I'm gonna wake him
I
up.
make the medicine check for the other room.
Can I make
That's
a
a
medicine check with my muscles?
You're well.
I've healed you.
that's a dirty 20.
Okay. And Jameson, what'd you get?
It's irrelevant.
Okay. So, Jameson, you kind of walk up and you start looking him over, and, you know, the human anatomy's never quite been your thing. It's kind of hard to tell, like, how good has he ever actually looked, you know, in the short time you've known him. He's kind of looked like shit, so, like, I mean, at least he doesn't look like that, you think? Max, as you kind of walk up, he does seem to have a little bit of the color kind of back in his face. The breathing is still a bit raggedy. But he does seem to be pretty well asleep. Definitely still breathing. You know, doesn't seem to be bleeding profusely from any injuries or anything. So, I mean,
now I asked Max, is he okay?
He's fine for now.
Okay, good. Hinge, wake up! They're here!
you see him kind of flail about.
Oh, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I misspoke. They're
As
fine.
he flails, you see him kind of gunk right onto the floor as he kind of flails a little too hard, rolls too fast, and lands kind of on the floor. Stops. Oh, they're here.
No, I'm sorry. I misspoke. I meant to say that we are here. We were here to check on you.
Oh. Oh.
I'll help him back up into the bed and be like, "Thank you, Jameson."
I look at Ozzy and I'm like,
Ozzy's just standing there, you know, his normal disdainful look on his face, and you just see the corner of his mouth just twitch a little.
He graciously accepts your offer for help and does kind of get himself situated, seated back on the bed, and I suppose you need me to help you in some way. What can I do for you?
Keep resting. Stay here. As far as we know, the cleric has not arrived yet. But how are you feeling? You look okay.
I feel like I, really just fell on my face.
you did.
Yes. That was the joke. Well, I suppose I could use more rest. I'm still quite achy, but, you know, aside from the general tiredness, I suppose...
General tiredness.
I suppose,
It's General Goode's younger
It's-
sister.
better than I was at least when we first arrived, I think.
That's good.
And how are you?
Fine. We did a bit of shopping. I think we might have done a concert or something.
You guys see him stop and just, how long have I been asleep?
12 years.
But hopefully the cleric should be along any time now. So,
Oh, yes. Well,
Stay in
I
bed.
suppose I should tidy some things up and make myself presentable. I don't have any of my tools to offer to them. You don't think I need to go grab any, do you? Do you think they need anything from us?
nope.
Okay. Well then, I may get some extra sleep. Maybe take a bath. Could probably use a good wash. Ugh.
I think have we rested?
Y'all,
Took a
yeah, we took a
sh-
short rest.
Short rest.
I think I mean, while we're waiting on the cleric, we might as well also get some sleep. We haven't had a full night's rest in a little while.
What time of day is it again?
It's right around like noon. So you guys are coming up on levels of exhaustion, sans Ozzy, because, go fuck yourselves.
Cool. Let's
I just wrote here.
I mean, we can at least we're probably pretty tired. We can at least rest, and if the cleric comes, then someone from the guild can wake us up. They might be busy today, so we never know if they're going to be by. We might as well get some rest. I have a feeling that we might need it.
I would agree.
How many rooms did we get?
So there were 2 separate rooms specifically. You guys did give one to Sybil and her children. The other one, Hinge kind of took it upon himself to take. You do know as well that there are just additional, essentially, bunk housing beds.
No, we got one more. We got 3 rooms.
That's right. Yeah, you did. So you guys have one room that you guys can either all be in. That's correct. That has... Basically, it's designed to sleep 2 people, maybe 3, or that open bunk housing room.
Which room has the barrel full of rainwater in it?
It's a great
I
question.
guess the third room.
Yeah, it's either there in Hinge's room. You guys didn't see it in Hinge's room, so I guess it's in the other room.
We hear playful splashing coming from Sybil in the children's room.
Splash, splash, I'm sticking up at the...
Really? Were you now?
Have you never
Very-
heard? Okay, never mind.
Splish splash. I was taking
a
bath.
bath.
Bum, bum, bum,
And
bum.
on a Saturday night, rubber dub, I was sitting in the tub. Anyway.
I would not say no to some sleep. And by that I mean I will say yes to some sleep, and I get up and go to the room.
Goodbye.
I will stay here with Dr. Hinge. Is there a desk in here?
There is a small desk. It's kind of more of a table with a stool at it, but it works as a desk.
Okay. I start copying spells.
All right.
Yeah. I'm actually also not going to go to sleep.
He's gonna go wake.
I gotta do math.
I
Go
do
ahead.
nothing.
Do you do nothing in Hinge's room or somewhere else?
I'm just gonna stand out in the hall.
Okay.
Just kind of basically hang out, keep watch, lean against the wall, whatever.
Jameson, what are you doing?
I'm probably gonna go and sit in my barrel.
So I'm going to be in barrel room. I
I will be resting, but I will hang out in the barrel room with. If no one else is going to sleep, I at least want to rest, even if I'm not snoozing.
Yeah. I'm just gonna dump a bunch of the stuff that I bought today and just take the first preliminary steps and design aspects of what I want to do with some of it.
Okay. Is there anything else that you all would like to do during your assorted rest and or busy work? Are you guys eating lunch? Fuck you, Ozzy. Are you guys eating lunch?
Yeah, I would assume.
Okay. It'll be 3 copper for each of you who eats. Accordingly. As you kind of work and or rest, your day, it does get to be about 4 o'clock. There's still no sign of a cleric.
After an hour or 2 of tinkering, I'm just gonna go to bed.
Okay.
I will probably, when I see him go to bed, I'll probably do the same thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend 1 hour and 25 gold to learn Frost Fingers. Copy that in my book.
Okay.
And then I don't see in the PHB where it has information on copying cantrips. And I don't.
Considered level 0 spells.
Yeah.
So I think it's got leveled spells like listed out.
Yeah, it's a first level or higher. It tells me per level 2 hours and 50 gold. And since I'm evocation savant, I can have an hour and 25.
I would say, since it's a level 0 spell, half of that.
Yeah, so I'd say probably takes an hour and 10 pieces of gold.
So it would still take an hour? Because it's already halved to an hour if it's evocation.
Yeah.
So 30 minutes then, since it's an evocation cantrip.
30 minutes and 10 gold.
Yep.
Okay. And how much time are we waiting? You said it was getting on to a 4.
It's about 4 o'clock, so it's been about 3.5, 4 hours at this point.
Math.
Sleep.
All right.
Yeah, after copying the spells I can, I'll sleep a bit.
All right. As the three of you go to sleep, Ozzy, I'm assuming you're business as usual out in the hall?
Yep, I am just kind of basically like leaning on the wall. Hammer is going to be in hand, and I'm just going to watch and wait and make sure nobody disturbs the rest of the group.
All right. A few hours pass. It's about 7, 8 in the evening, and you do hear the door kind of quietly open behind you. You see coming out, looking down, trying to carefully, quietly close the door back, Sybil, who turns and kind of, oh, Ozymandias, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there.
His full legal name, damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to fetch dinner for the children and myself from downstairs. And do you need anything or?
Did not mean to scare you, and I'm fine. I don't eat or anything like that. If you need help, though, just ask. Otherwise, I'm going to stand here and make sure that no one bothers anybody while they sleep.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind some help bringing the plates up. It's been a while since I worked in a tavern, you know. And it probably would be a bit quieter if I had a little extra help.
Oh, well, I wouldn't call myself quiet, but yes, I will help you.
She kind of chuckles, and she'll just kind of walk down the stairs with you, heading to the counter. You see her kind of pause, and she'll count very carefully out the 9 copper pieces and kind of scoop them up and hand them to the person that, you know, is kind of taking the order for her. Before she kind of sits at the end of the bar away from, it's kind of a bit of a not rowdy necessarily, but definitely a louder group of people who seem to be kind of talking and catching up, sharing stories, you know. And as she kind of sits, she just kind of gestures, you don't have to stand all the time, you know. You can sit, you can take a load off, as they say.
I appreciate the offer. I think I will just stand for a little bit.
Oh, of course, it's your option. How did things go for you all today?
To be completely honest, the clerics are incredibly busy. I'm not even sure if anyone's ever going to actually show up to help the doctor, which is unfortunate, but hopefully somebody will. It seems that Jameson and Alder had a bit of an entertaining afternoon, and then we got stuck in line at a store for 45 minutes, which was not enjoyable.
General Goods?
General Goods. General Goods.
She just kind of nods with a very knowing look kind of on her face about your ordeal. I'm not terribly surprised, unfortunately, by how busy the clerics are. Is there any way I can help? I'm no cleric, of course, but I am, a bit of our side business, I suppose, is the herbs and some potions that I'm able to craft. I don't know if that would be of any use, but...
Do you have a kit with you?
I have most of my herbalism kit. I have a few different things that I always carry on hand, but I didn't think I would need to bring my alchemy kit with me, unfortunately.
I think that out there, they have plenty of people trying to help. Maybe not enough, but plenty. And there's plenty going on. I think it's... Forgive me if I speak out of turn. I think focusing on keeping your children together and safe is probably more important than you helping everyone else.
We're friends.
And
at least a little bit. Well, maybe you don't... Oh, well, I didn't mean to overspeak. But your input is always welcome. Feel like, we may not have known each other for long, but given that my children and I do owe you and your friends our lives, I do feel I would be remiss to not at least listen and hear out anything you have to say as far as advice.
you owe me nothing. But I do have an alchemist's kit that I happened to get earlier. If you think that you would be able to use it to help out, if you would like to, if that is where your heart is set, then I can give it to you once we get back upstairs.
Well, at least let me see if I might have enough to make a few potions or something for you all, or at least a few herbs that I could send you on your way with. It would be a small token of thanks.
You don't need to thank me, but I appreciate the gesture.
She reaches out and kind of like, almost like you see instinctually goes out to like reach and pat like your shoulder, realizes just how high up your shoulder is, and instead just kind of like reaches down and kind of like holds your hand up and just kind of holds it, trying to like look you in the eyes. You can accept thanks for doing something. You don't have to deny it. I don't feel beholden. I just... There's not enough of a way to express how grateful I am that my children are safe. And that's thanks to all of you.
Of course. Accepting thanks is not my strong suit. But you are welcome anyway.
Well, suppose I know what your strong suit is. And she kind of like gestures to your body a little bit.
Yes, hitting things very hard. It's useful. Not good necessarily, but useful.
Well, especially might be useful, it seems, with whatever may be going on.
Yeah. The more you try to find the simpler way, the more it gets complicated. But
No, you don't have to tell me that twice. I thought I'd be on a simple weekend trip, essentially. And it certainly is not shaped up that way. About this time, you do see the waitress kind of come back and dinners, and hands down the 3 plates on the counter. Nods after seeing that you guys don't need anything else, and heads to go check on the others at the end of the bar. Sybil kind of takes a deep sigh and, if you'll grab one of them, I can take the other 2, and we can just get them up there. I don't know if the kids are awake yet, but I would be a bit of a bad mother if I didn't make sure they had food, right?
well, I guess it is fortunate that you are not a bad mother. Let's go.
She kind of chuckles a bit and will walk up with you. When you get there, she does kind of quietly hand you one plate. You see her slowly open the door. You do hear the slightest as it kind of opens a little ways. But she does manage to kind of slip inside, place one plate down. She comes back for the other 2, places them down, and just kind of comes back to the door. You get some rest too, okay?
It's a funny thing about that. Don't sleep. I'm just gonna stand there.
That's why I didn't
Don't
say
move.
sleep. And she kind of like winks at you a little bit. Good night, Ozzy.
Good night, Sybil.
And she slowly closes the door back as quietly as possible. Ozzy, the rest of the evening, you know, there's some chatter, some hullabaloo downstairs that does eventually kind of quiet. You see a number of those folks kind of come up and go to like the different little like bunk housing areas. They all kind of and like you see one who kind of stops. When they get a suit of armor here? And one of them, dude, no, come over here. And one of them kind of eventually does come and like almost drag him into the other room as he's just standing there staring at you, almost trying to act like it's a mirror and trying to like get you to like mirror what he's doing when he realizes that like you blink and move a little bit.
Yeah, and like I just deliberately do not show any form of attention towards him.
Okay.
I just stand there and I'm just. If Ozzy could breathe, he would just have a deep sigh and just stand there, and stare at the wall.
Otherwise, there's no cleric this evening, and things are pretty uneventful. As it starts to get a little bit brighter outside one of the windows, about 6 or so in the morning, you do see the sun through the window at the end of the bunk hall. Starts to have a little bit of light, finally kind of breaking through some of the darkness, some of the clouds, and you do see a beautiful, deep, reddish orange kind of sunrise coming up. You do notice a very loud crash in a room behind you, and that is where we will end tonight's session.
Fuck.
It's Hinge. He died.
No, I'm in that room.
Well, you died too.
Oh man,
Oh man.
Fuckity shit.
Oh boy.
did I get power word killed again?
Not yet.
Shouldn't have stayed in that room.
I can't do anything.
You can't go into
Can't go in a room.
You can't leave a room.
Just don't go.
Can't
Don't
stay
be
in
in
the room.
rooms at any point for any reason ever, Sam.
But isn't outside just a big room?
I'm just gonna be a vampire. I can't go anywhere unless I'm invited.
Invited
living
in
like
and then
coffin in a
immediately
basement.
killed. All right. Well, as we wrap up, does anyone have anything they'd like to share, announcements to make, anything they want to plug, etc.?
I'll put it in my phone.
Per usual, if I made you laugh today, please shoot me a follow or Feo Mills on Twitch. Just hit 60 followers and got a lot of subs from a 12-hour stream I did with some of these lovely people. It was really fun. I was really tired. Lots of fart noises happened. Lots of metal pipe noises happened.
Yeah, it
did. Feel free to shoot me a follow if that's your thing.
This is when someone in chat does the shout out thing.
Yeah.
If I
Shout
can
out.
get a mod in chat to shout out Orfeo Mills. Beep, beep, bop,
Orfeo.
beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, bop.
Beep,
And in
boop, beep,
case
boop,
you
boop,
don't
boop,
know
bop,
what
boop,
his
boop.
name is spelled, it's down there for you now.
Beep, boop, 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 bop.
If that's all the announcements or things we have to share, you guys, then that's a wrap for our session, and we will see you guys again in 2 weeks.
Fuck 12, steal from Walmart.
Correct.
Fuck 12, steal from Walmart. Mwah! Bye! Stop recording, stop recording, stop recording, stop recording.
That's got to stay in the recording.
So, when I was playing Sonic Adventure 2 the other day, I forgot that